Will Schweller here, previewing Clarke Auction's February 12th No Reserve Fine Art Storage Sale. I've got 5 works out of the about 260 lots that are going to be in the sale that I'd like to show you right now in this video. The first of which is this painting by the American muralist Louis David Vaillant. Vaillant was a really prominent painter in the early 20th century who has commissions throughout New York City as well as at the Rockefeller Estate up in Westchester. This is a beautiful painting of 2 sisters with a bowl of fruit. That's a really interesting piece because in sort of the bottom half you can actually see some of Vaillant's grid lines, so it's a really interesting peek into his process. We actually got this painting from the artist's estate, and it is signed in the lower left there. The next work I'd like to show you is by the important Polish-Israeli painter Moshe Makati. It's a small oil on canvas of a figure against a blue background that's really indicative of Makati's style that uses really heavy brush strokes to create these really abstracted figural studies. The next work is by the Russian impressionist Moisey Kogan. It's a work from the 20th century, a village scene that shows peasants and cattle in the fields with really absolutely beautiful use of color in the trees and in the dress of the peasants. The next painting is by the American painter Alvin Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth was a prominent African-American painter in the mid-20th century. Actually one of the first African-American illustrators to work for major comic book companies. He was also a member of Spiral, which is a group of 16 black artists organized by Ramar Bearden to use the visual arts as an aid in the civil rights movement in the mid-60s. This work's a beautiful example of Hollingsworth's oeuvre because it has a really breathtaking abstract use of colors paired with figure studies. And the last work I'd like to show you is an abstract ink on paper by the West Coast abstract expressionist John Grillo. This work's from 1959 and really demonstrates Grillo's just experiments with abstraction in a very striking black and white palette, sort of much like Franz Klein or Robert Motherwell, both of whom inspired Grillo. Grillo is probably the preeminent West Coast action painter who was working in the 50s alongside the greats of the New York School. He actually studied under Hoffman and Rothko actually as well. So just to give you a little bit of a background on the sale, it's going to be on February 12th at 2 p.m. online only on Live Auctioneers and Invaluable. We've got 260 lots in the sale, all of which are priced from $50 to $1,000 with no reserve. A lot of these lots are works that sold at auction before but were never paid for, or by younger, newer artists who don't have as strong a listing. So it's a really exciting opportunity for collectors to bid on works by a whole variety of artists from different styles and schools. If you've got any questions, feel free to give the gallery a call and take a look at the catalog on www.clarkeny.com. Thanks.